Hey, everyone. My name is Chand. I am both certified internal medicine doctor moving towards holistic medicine. And I've been talking about my own journey through chronic illness and recovery through holistic methods. And one of the things which was really important was breath work. And so I'm going to take some time and talk about what I've learned about breath work for people with chronic illnesses, specifically those who are kind of severe, those of you all who might be in bed, who might not be getting helped by the traditional breathwork advice, on YouTube and social media, and even classes. So let's get started. So first of all, what I do want to say is that I believe breathwork is really important. But the reason why I'm making this video is because as I have been learning more through my own journey, but also as I've been interacting with other people who are trying to recover from chronic illnesses and who have been going through this kind of stuff, right? I've also been helping people. Not a lot, but I have been helping people on the side, have some clients and stuff like that. And the one thing which has always remained, and this is specifically for people who have stuff like chronic fatigue syndrome or ME, long COVID, POTS, stuff that I had, and all this different, constellation of diagnoses and diseases, um, fibromyalgia, a lot of other things, right? Dysautonomia and stuff like that, right? The one thing that I've heard for people who haven't been able to get better has been that they have tried breathwork. And they've even been to breathwork classes. They've even been to workshops sometimes. And it actually didn't help them. On the contrary, it kind of made them worse. And that's exactly what happened with me. I was very sick. I was looking online and, didn't, I knew about breathwork, but didn't really know a lot. And I eventually also, got better and I took a training in pranayama. Uh, but the one thing that I learned was that the traditional mainstream pop kind of, like knowledge about breathwork, it wasn't applying to people who were extremely sick. Uh, and so a lot of those people, including me, sometimes had just given up on breathwork. So a lot of my patients, for example, I'd seen them like, doc, I tried and it didn't work. So breathwork doesn't work for me. It makes me sick. And they've sort of internalized that feeling that there's something wrong with me. There was also frustration that, what, it worked for somebody else, why didn't it work for me and stuff like that. This is the stuff which came up in a lot of these discussions. And in my own journey, I was doing breath work and then I was doing a lot of breath work. And then I noticed that I was kind of, it was creating too much stress. I was trying to do too much, right? And eventually I cut back and somewhere breath work, I kind of lost touch. And then recently, for multiple reasons, I was not feeling well and I had re-engaged with breath work in a different way. And I have to give kudos to the Potato method um, channel and, some of the teachings on Potato method and stuff like that. Um, and obviously, like, from the ancient teachings of pranayama, which, and Chinese, medicine and stuff like that, a lot of other things. I've sort of started re-engaging with breath work and I had these reflections that I wanted to share. So that's the long intro. I'm sorry, I speak a lot. Get used to it. Just kidding. But yeah, the first thing was that there is no one size fits all approach. And you'll see this repeated by people uh, who understand breathwork really well, is that there's no one size fits all. So the biggest mistakes that I've seen uh, trainers, coaches can make, and even people with illnesses can make is like, okay, this is what this person did, so I'm going to do this. Or this is what people say, I need to do box breathing, 4 in, hold 4, 4 out, hold 4, so I'm going to do this. First of all, if you are in a severely ill state like I was, there's no way that you can do box breathing 4 by 4 by 4 by 4 or whatever. And even if you do it, it's probably going to make you sick because that is going to be too much for your system. That is where I was. Uh, I met multiple people, including me, who were unable to even take an inhale for up to 2 seconds. And even any kind of pressure to change the breath was causing tachycardia, was causing palpitations. That's not going to work for you. That does not mean that that's not going to work for you right now. That doesn't mean that nothing will work for you. There is no one size fits all. Breathwork is very different. There's multiple different types of breathwork, and it will have to be individualized to your to every particular person at different stages of their life and illness and so on and so forth. So that's the first thing. There is no one size fits all. Second thing that I will say is that for people who are chronically ill and severely chronically ill, and those are the people that I'm generally talking to, but this probably applies to most people. Start slow. In any community, this was start, like start low, go slow, right? And I think that's the main thing because breath work is powerful, right? That's one of the points of where breath work is powerful. You will notice a difference. And the mistake that I have made, and somebody like me generally makes, is that if something works, we just do a lot of it because we want to get better faster so that we can get back to our lives and get back to living in a certain way. And I've done that also. But remember, breath work is powerful. Modifying your breath a lot too much all of a sudden will can impact uh, your physiology in very significant ways. It can impact your body pH, sort of stuff like that. It might also be a shock for your nervous system to be like, oh my God, we're suddenly breathing differently all the time. That could be too much. And those are all the reasons why there might be a certain reaction. Now, not all the reactions are bad. Sometimes there is a detox reaction which can happen. And you just need to slow down and sort of stay a little bit consistent, but don't go too crazy at it. And it'll pass and you'll come out better out of that. Or sometimes it might just be too much. So just start slow and go slow. And this ties into the other point, which is to stay consistent. And one of the ways to create consistency is to, again, pace yourself. Like, really. The idea here is that you want to do a few minutes of breath work. If you haven't done any breath work and if you're very ill, don't start with like 20 minutes twice a day. First of all, you won't be able to do that. So don't even try to attempt that, right? Start with a few minutes, literally in the morning, maybe at night. Even that might be too much for you because you're doing probably a lot of other things, right? But the idea is that you stay consistent. Even if you don't do it every day, that's fine. You come back to it. Develop that consistency over weeks and months. And you see what I'm going into here is that the first thing which a lot of people who are severely ill will need to do is to actually relax yourself, relax the breathing. Now, in pranayama, for example, there can be multiple different kinds of breath works, right? And even different kinds of breath works. You've heard of them off, you've heard of Brastika pranayama, maybe, which is right, like this kind of, it's very aggressive breathing, right? It's hyperventilation. Uh, you won't be able to do that, so please don't even attempt that. I couldn't do this for a long time. Even right now, I pace myself depending on how I'm doing, right? I would suggest just let that be for now. I understand Wim Hof might have worked for a lot of people, even if you're chronically ill, it might have worked for you. My general recommendation is I can never give a prescription, but it is for a lot of people and probably for most people, is to start with very gentle breath work. And the first step there is to start by just noticing your breath. The first thing that I recommend people to do is to be like, we're not going to do anything crazy. We're not going to be doing a 10-minute generic video YouTube. No, play some light music. Maybe you can find some kind of sessions online, videos online. Put a hand here, put both the hands here, relax your hands, just lay down. And I would recommend doing this lying down. If you're already chronically ill, you can't sit up, that's fine. You want your spine to be straight. Lie down on your back. It's fine. You can't lie down on your back, lie down crooked. I don't care. I know that there are multiple adjustments which need to be made for people with severe chronic illnesses. So don't feel tied that there is a perfect way to do this. That will also create stress on your nervous system. The idea here is to not have that stress on your nervous system, right? So find a comfortable position. Put your hand, and I love this for me. I can put this here if I'm feeling. I can put both my hands on my belly gently and just start by just noticing your breath. And what that means is that you just notice your hands going up and down. That's one feedback. Could be noticing your breath here. That's another feedback, right? Choose a point. It doesn't matter. Pick one. Keep changing, but just notice your breath. The thing here will be is to really be compassionate with yourself. Because right now, let's say, I mean, you might notice that your chest is moving. Oh, my chest is not supposed to move. Yeah, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Let it. Let your breathing be erratic. Let it not be rhythmic. Let it not be so called beautiful. Just notice how it is. That's your first step. Do that for a minute or two. What you're trying to do is to just befriend this rhythm. You're trying to get to know this rhythm. You're trying to connect with it. And secondly, as you're doing that, it's one intention which I've asked myself and people to do is to notice it, observe it, and honor it. Really, truly try and understand how sacred this dysfunctional breath is. Dysfunctional breath. It's keeping you alive. Try and knead into that. That's it. That's it. Just try and notice your breath, honor it, thank this breath. Simple mindfulness, right? But we're trying to truly relax yourself. Do nothing. You might need to do this for the first couple of weeks, maybe more. To do nothing, do less. Just notice your breath. You can have visualizations here. You can notice that maybe your breath is like a river and you're sitting on the side of the river. You're sitting down, relaxed, like you're on a beach or you're next to a river and you're just noticing your breath just flow. That's all you're doing. You're trying to enjoy your breath. You're trying to like it. It doesn't matter how this river flows. This river, like any river, changes its pattern all the time. Are you going to try and change the river? No. Right now, you're just enjoying this river. Think of your breath as a beautiful river, which changes as the seasons come, as your health changes. And you're just trying to notice it, observe it, see how beautiful it is. That's it. What you notice this exercise is trying to do is to do nothing, put no pressure on your nervous system. But just the fact that you're observing your breath, that you're enjoying it flow, seeing it flow, sensing it flow, will slow it down. Along with that, you want to relax your body, relax your diaphragm, right? This is the first step. And for a lot of people, again, severely chronically ill people, I'm going to ask people that just stay here. That's it. You stay here, do this first thing in the morning, maybe. You wake up, you're in bed, your heart is beating. That's what used to happen to me. Maybe sometimes even does. And I just connect with the breath. Take your time. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it, man. Do it in the middle of the day. But when you will enjoy it, when you actually connect with it, when you don't feel scared of it, when you don't want to change it, when it doesn't feel like another task, you're more likely to do it. That's what I want you to focus on. That's what I recommend people to focus on. You have to take my advice. And I think it's a way to stay consistent with this. Now, the second step after this, if, because this will change your body, you won't be relaxed vagus nerve will get activated. The parasympathetic, the ventral vagus nerve will be activated. You might notice, hands are warmer. What happens in meditation, like you have more saliva in the mouth and stuff like that, like gurgling in your stomach. You might feel more relaxed. Great. After that, you want to eventually start prolonging the exhale. We're not even counting. Even if you can do 1 second and 2 seconds out, that's great. Gentle prolonging the exhale. Now remember, even prolonging the exhale might sometimes become work. It might sometimes be like 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. That you're actually contracting the diaphragm, right? Right now, we don't want to focus on that. Right now, we just want to relax it down. Eventually, You want to get to a point where you might be able to prolong the exhale just a little bit, just slow it down just a little bit. So this is the fundamental thing. Think for a lot of people with chronic illnesses, staying here, just here, should be good in the first phases of their healing. So again, you're not creating pressure on the nervous system. You're not doing too much of this. Trying to create a routine is great. But what you're really trying to do is don't have too much pressure. You're trying to see if you can actually start enjoying this. See if you can actually start enjoying this. See if you play this music, you have a routine, you have a ritual maybe. See if, like, it's rainy outside, it's kind of like groggy, but I actually kind of find it beautiful. So I went to the river, I went to a small creek, sorry, and I just sat there, and that's when I just like sat and just noticed it for a little bit. Anand. Let this become a joyful practice. That is when you're most likely to do it. More likely to stay consistent with when it actually starts bringing joy. It won't in the beginning, I get it. The way that you're going to connect with your breath will eventually create joy. And so these are again, some points that I have right now. There's much more advice. It gets very technical for people who want to like get trained in breath work and you want to master our breath, and all of that is good and great. When you're ill, severely ill in a certain state, especially with the kind of illnesses that I mentioned that I had, don't make that mistake of putting more pressure on the nervous system. You actually need to relax your nervous system. You need to lean into joy. You don't, the body, mind, soul cannot be getting the message I need to fix something. That is what creates more stress. The fixing will happen as we lean into the joy of connecting with your breath. So, anyways, I know might sound too mundane, but it works. Might sound too simple, but a lot of it is actually simple. And I also recommend see if you can find someone who can guide you through this kind of stuff, can help you do that. That is helpful. I know for a fact that a few of my clients have been pretty grateful that they've been able to feel like, oh my God, I can actually do breath work now and I can actually feel good after that, because guess what? It is a very powerful tool. And like one of my mentors used to say, the breath is your vehicle of awareness. We want to start connecting with our breath on a regular basis. And this can take years, by the way, because your breath can ultimately be used in what I practice and what I help people with and what I've gotten trained in is somatic archaeology or somatic experiencing or kind of somatic therapy. Uh, we use our breath as one of the tools to go to our symptoms, to go into our body in different places, excavate in that certain way. And having a breathwork practice in this way will allow you to be able to move your breath, move your energy, because wherever your breath will go, your energy will go, your attention will go to a certain area which seems to be into stress. Try and learn from it, try and give it love to see if it needs to be released, to actually release it. Because eventually, yes, when you get better, you might be able to do these more, like forceful exhalation, forceful breaths. But I don't think that's the starting point. I think this will be the starting point, what we discussed. Anyways, I'm going to start blabbering. I hope this was useful. Let me know what are your thoughts. I want to hear. Has breathwork helped you? Or are you also scared of doing breathwork because of the reasons that I mentioned? It becomes too much for you. Notice your heart starts beating. And if you use this video and if it helps you, I don't know, man, like leave a comment or something, engage. And if you want to hear more of this kind of stuff, let me know. Thank you.